Yeah. Good to see you. Oh, we got. Well, we got to do some praising. No. Diya, she's mine. Hey, I enjoyed our little talk.
I know I do too. Yeah. we will.
Play original network. I'm old enough to remember the last time we had an exciting quarterback fall to the Cowboys when they came up. Have you guys thought through that scenario if there was an exciting quarterback like, say, Jackson Dart or Shedeur Sanders there as well?
Yeah, well, we've got a major commitment with Dak, and so you weigh all of that. And but I was going to add to this whole conversation. It's very often that somebody will step up and say, "Now we got this guy right here. We've got him, and we just signed him under."
Hold on a second. Is this actually happening? Jerry Jones is working behind the scenes, manipulating situations like the wealthy mastermind he is. With Jerry, football is never simple. It's always a high-stakes show filled with money, massive egos, and shocking decisions that leave the entire league stunned. And here's the bombshell. He's got a hidden plan involving Shedeur Sanders. Yes, the same Shedeur who just gave Cleveland fans reason to believe in magic once more. This whole situation is so dramatic that it left Kevin Stefanski looking completely lost and confused. This is internet meme-worthy madness with the kind of scandal energy that only Jerry Jones could create. Cleveland Browns supporters thought they had finally escaped their bad luck. Not just a fortunate break, not just avoiding another draft mistake, but something genuine, a quarterback who doesn't crumble when the pressure gets intense. Shedeur Sanders arrives with confidence, delivers perfect passes, and suddenly Cleveland rediscovers something they had forgotten: hope. They're remembering feelings they thought were gone forever. He appears to be their future star, their franchise player, the person who could actually transform the Browns from a joke into a serious contender. But right when the dog pound starts imagining championship
But just as the dog pound starts dreaming of glory,
fair that we have. And I have always admired him, both on and off the field. Ooh. I said, that's all.
And that's what I respect the most about Shedeur, about Shiloh, and also about Prime. They know who they are. They don't waver away from it.
They have to remember, you don't get to write your plans in pen.
Comes the NFL's most famous oil mogul turned comic book bad guy, Jerry Jones, creeping out from behind the curtain. And he's not just observing, he's planning, calculating, speaking quietly in dark corners like a drama series antagonist who controls the network, the equipment, and the storyline. Jerry Jones doesn't simply possess the Cowboys. He commands attention like it's sewn into his clothing. This man approaches football like it's a Broadway production with larger personalities, overpriced snacks, and a platform big enough to display every single one of his personal issues. The moment Shedeur Sanders' reputation started growing beyond Cleveland, Jerry didn't just pay attention, he went into overdrive. Someone activated the turbo ego switch on his billion-dollar boat, and suddenly it was performance time. Quarterbacks aren't just players, they're treasure chests wearing cleats. And Shedeur is essentially cryptocurrency with a throwing arm, a perfect spiral wrapped in pure financial potential. Jerry doesn't just see a quarterback, he sees a trademark, a business empire, a walking corporate symbol. Forget studying opposing teams' strategies. This young man can sell merchandise in Tokyo, break Netflix with a documentary series, and become a worldwide trending topic before the game even starts. And Jerry's expression lights up like bright lights in Las Vegas. The same way it did when he constructed that $1.3 billion monument to his own image. But here's the reality. When Jerry detects opportunity, being subtle gets completely abandoned. He's not making some quiet phone call that would be tampering, and even Jerry understands when everyone's watching him. Instead, he gets crafty. Suddenly, there are rumors in secret meetings, mysterious restaurant dinners, and unnamed sources, dropping clues. Third-party intermediaries appear from nowhere, becoming the most sought-after dinner companions in Dallas. It's spy movie tactics. Just with much more money, fancier clothing, and lighting so poor it resembles a soap opera filmed in a rundown bar. And here's the incredible twist. Deion Sanders joins the conversation. Cowboys legend, Jerry's former star from the championship era, the man who made Dallas must-see television before streaming meant old cable reruns. Jerry and Deion have deep history together. And after years of chaos, if there's one voice Jerry cannot ignore. It's prime times. So when Dion casually mentions his son's name during conversation, Jerry doesn't just listen, he starts drawing empire plans on the back of $1 billion restaurant napkin. This isn't talent evaluation. This is Jerry writing the final act of his cowboy drama series. He disguises it as football necessity, Doc's contracts problems, the NFC East destroying itself. We need a future quarterback. Sounds logical, right? Wrong, common sense, and Jerry Jones haven't been in the same room since the 1990s, and Jerry isn't discussing some second-round backup-level exchange either. No, he's offering a deal that makes the Herschel Walker trade look like spare change. Multiple first-round picks, star athletes, financial acrobatics so complicated that Wall Street would panic just trying to understand it. Jerry is prepared to destroy his roster, ignore the salary cap, and risk everything if it means Shedeur Sanders wears that star helmet. That's how intense this obsession has become. Meanwhile, Cleveland is quietly falling apart internally. Half the leadership wants to protect Shedeur, develop him properly, finally have a quarterback without needing emotional support. But the other half
season, and the Cowboys have the 10th. That's where we're headed now. The public saga continues between Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons as the team has not gotten any closer to reaching a new contract since Micah requested a trade on August 1st. Here's Jerry's latest comments on Micah yesterday.
Nothing.
So why don't you talk?
Again, nothing would be that, and we might or might not talk. And the rest of that gets in...
Interview 3. They're mesmerized by money signs, marketing contracts, and worldwide licensing opportunities. Suddenly, the Browns are wondering if they can evolve from cursed organization into a marketing powerhouse. Spoiler alert, they cannot. Cleveland couldn't sell oceanfront properties in paradise if they included free packing, but that doesn't prevent the internal battle happening inside their headquarters. Coaches are demanding patience, proper development, and player protection, while executives are fantasizing about cash flow and brand partnerships. Caught directly in the center of this chaos is Shedeur Sanders, a rookie who simply wants to throw footballs while billionaires circle around him like hungry birds at a Texas cookout. This is classic Jerry Jones strategy, the long-term scheme. He doesn't need results immediately or next week. He'll be patient, plant the rumors, slip suggestions into private conversations, and wait for his moment. All it requires is one serious injury, one messy contract disagreement, or one accidental information leak to create an opening, and when that happens, boom, Jerry strikes like a predator with oil money flowing from his pockets. Because in Jerry's thinking, this isn't about victories anymore, it's about leaving a permanent legacy. He wants to be remembered as the strategic genius who outsmarted everyone, who transformed football into complete entertainment, who made the Cowboys more important than the game itself. To him, Shedeur isn't just a quarterback, he's the cornerstone, the golden connection.
You guys, that Shedeur Sanders, pick number 144, is now the best-selling jersey of the draft class.
No, and this is why he's going to be a Cleveland Brown. I think he's going to be on the roster no matter what. Because at the end of the day, I do think he has a safe floor at quarterback, but those type of things, moving the needle, moving dollars around and being relevant as a...
For the express pass to making Dallas not just America's team, but the planet's team. But let's pause and chuckle for a moment, because this master strategy depends on a rookie surviving Jerry's intense spotlight. Dallas doesn't develop quarterbacks, it destroys them faster than a terrible reality show participant gets eliminated. One bad throw and the Dallas press will criticize Shedeur like he's trying out for a cancelled television comedy. And Jerry, the same person who couldn't handle Jimmy Johnson, receiving credit for Super Bowl wins, thinks he's about to control Deion Sanders' own son. The only thing more unrealistic than Jerry's scheme is believing the Browns' leadership could ever make one intelligent, unified choice. NFL penalties are waiting in the shadows, and Jerry's reputation hangs by a thin wire. He risks being remembered, not as the brilliant empire creator, but as the power-hungry leader who destroyed everything for a billionaire midlife crisis. Picture that news story, the man who turned America's team into America's laughingstock. That's Jerry Jones's worst fear coming true. And don't overlook the NFL organization itself. The league leadership despises disorder. They want smooth trades, professional press statements, and clean storylines. Meanwhile, Jerry's out here organizing secret restaurant meetings like a movie villain with a Texas accent. The instant a message leaks or the wrong comment slips during a live broadcast, Boom, punishment arrives. Tampering accusations, financial, penalties, investigations, a complete messy spectacle. Dot and Jerry.
But one of them is coming in right now. What's going on?
Very easy to be the top pick in the draft.
How you doing?
Nice to see you.
Yeah, children. I know. Only daughter.
Gonna hire primetime Shedeur Sanders as a head coach. What? That would be crazy. Whoa. Is Jerry Jones crazy enough to do something like that someday?
No, but he does know how to spell well enough and not answer a hypothetical question.
He'll present it as the league attempting to crush his brilliance. Because Jerry doesn't recognize rules, he sees obstacles on his path to immortality. The wildest part, Jerry actually thrives on the controversy. To him, it's energy. The Cowboys don't need championship trophies to stay relevant, they just need volume, attention, and chaos. Put Shedeur into that environment and you've basically given Jerry a blowtorch inside a fireworks factory. Win or lose. The Cowboys will control headlines and Jerry will parade through it all like the self-appointed emperor of chaos he's always wanted to be. But here's the harsh reality. In Jerry's strategic game, Shedeur Sanders is the piece at risk. He didn't request this circus, didn't beg to be the focal point of Jerry's final performance. The kid just wanted to play ball, to prove himself, to step away from his father's shadow. Instead, he's trapped in billion-dollar scheming, legacy battles, and Shakespeare-level family drama with Dion lurking in the background. And let's be honest, fans can sense it too. The moment this becomes serious, the atmosphere changes, and Shedeur gets caught in a storm bigger than any defense he'll ever encounter. That uncomfortable quiet, the type where everyone's smiling on the surface, but deep down they know that storm is already building. You don't give it to him in a crucial drive situation. Come on, make it logical. They don't want that young man in Cleveland. We all know they don't want him there. If they do it now, that's wrong. That's 2 losses. They have a choice, right? But come on, like he mentioned, they don't want quarterback competition. That's nice and everything, but no, you have to face reality. But there's a bright side in all this, in the end, for your guy. I think personally, this is my opinion, this will shock you. He's going to end up with Jerry Jones in Dallas. Shedeur Sanders walks into practice calm as always, acting like it's just another day. But the pressure is clearly there on his shoulders. Because once Jerry Jones attaches your name to his billion-dollar dream board, your life isn't normal anymore. It's a reality show with no pause button. And that's our current situation. Balanced on the edge of a trade rumor that feels less like football and more like Shakespeare wearing shoulder pads. Jerry Jones, the aging ruler, desperate to secure his legacy before the final curtain falls. Shedeur Sanders, the talented heir, carrying the weight of his family name and expectations, too heavy for one rookie. Cleveland, the divided kingdom, torn between protecting their golden boy or selling out for a marketing dream. That it's not football anymore. It's the NFL's newest drama series. The Browns' locker room feels less like a team and more like an episode of a corporate power struggle filmed in Cleveland. Half the coaches want to hand Shedeur the keys and let him build the future step by step. The other half have glazed looks thinking about money, already calculating how many luxury boxes they could sell on the excitement alone. If Jerry Jones walked in with his cowboy hat and wallet stuffed with oil money, you'd think even the equipment managers would have financial advisors whispering suggestions in their ears. Comments about this Micah Parsons trade have me puzzled. We all know Jerry Jones talks to the media too much, but him coming out essentially saying we traded Micah Parsons because we need to stop the running game. Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, now Russell Wilson, some of the top quarterbacks in the NFL are in your division, so you need to stop the run, but these guys can throw all over you. That's how deep the suspicion went. And poor Shedeur, he's the one actually holding the football, but he's standing in the center of a billionaire circus. Dallas media called it faked the moment he even tried on cowboy boots. Half the league's executives started updating their resumes in Jerry's grand vision. This isn't just another quarterback. Shedeur is the chosen one, the talented heir who will carry the Cowboys dynasty on his back and crown Jerry as king for all eternity. That's where Jerry's mind was focused. Forget Dak Prescott, forget the endless playoff disappointments, forget the fact Dallas hasn't touched real glory since people owned videotapes with pencils. None of that mattered to Jerry. Shedeur Sanders was the secret weapon to control time itself. Land him, and the Cowboys wouldn't just be a team anymore, they'd be a religion, a global empire, a never-ending entertainment franchise with star-spangled helmets. And Jerry being Jerry, He wasn't just going to make a trade, he wanted to shock the league with something so outrageous it would make Wall Street nervous from the boldness. Rumors circulated of 3 first-round picks on the table, a Pro Bowl defensive star, and maybe even throwing in a lifetime supply of Texas barbecue, just to sweeten the deal. Listen carefully to the direct question about whether he's had a chance to connect with Shedeur and throw some passes. You heard what Jerry Jeudy said. We throw the ball around a little bit and Shedeur has an arm. He says Shedeur has one of the best arms, and you could almost hear him pacing on the phone, shouting, "What if I include the practice facility? Or better yet, my yacht?" At this point, it wasn't even about football, it was about controlling the narrative. Who would stand next to Jerry when the cameras flashed? Who would be featured in that ESPN documentary 20 years from now? And the NFL, oh, they were extremely worried. Whispers of tampering floated through the air like celebration confetti after another Cowboys playoff failure. If Jerry really was making secret calls to Dion, passing notes under the table, and making promises that sounded suspiciously like bribes, then the league wasn't just facing another messy headline, they had a full-scale scandal developing. Players get injured, so you bet everything that you have him, and then suddenly you don't. So that's when your experienced mind starts thinking, well, if this guy did get hurt, what would we do this year? But let's remember, this is Jerry Jones we're discussing. The man has been bending regulations since the days when beepers clipped to your belt were cutting-edge technology. The league's nightmare was happening in real time. Jerry Jones wasn't just provoking trouble, he was painting it in Cowboys blue and daring it to explode. NFL leadership wanted order, polished press releases, and tight control. Instead, they had Jerry hosting private steakhouse meetings, back calls, and whispers that reeked of tampering stronger than Texas barbecue smoke. Behind the scenes, executives were panicking. If Jerry actually succeeded, the NFL's balance would collapse. You'd have Cleveland in shambles, Dallas rocketing into global spectacle, and every other owner demanding to know why one man got away with turning the league into his personal drama series. Sanders, like I've stated in previous videos, it's all lies, all smoke and mirrors. Jerry Jeudy just confirmed that. He's a wide receiver, the one catching passes from Shedeur, so he knows what that arm strength is. He knows what that arm talent is. A lot of things that have been lied about regarding Shedeur, all the conspiracy theories. We heard what Eric Dickerson said, the fix was in, but it sounds like Jerry Jeudy said, man, Shedeur is a player. Shedeur has a bright future. It's almost like he's saying, man, he's our guy. The whispers weren't just about trades anymore. There were discussions of investigations. Fines so massive they'd make a Wall Street banker faint, even the possibility of losing draft picks. And still, Jerry didn't back down. In his mind, controversy wasn't the price, it was the strategy. Every headline with his name, every rumor connected to Shedeur, it was all fuel for the circus. The Cowboys didn't have to win trophies, they just had to dominate the conversation. And with Shedeur Sanders at the center of it, Jerry believed he wasn't just writing a new chapter, he was writing the entire book of modern football. Meanwhile, poor Shedeur kept his focus down, ball in hand, trying to ignore the noise. But how do you block out a billionaire rewriting your future while the media paints you as the chosen one? The Browns' locker room felt like it was crumbling under the pressure, and Jerry, he was smiling like the ringmaster of chaos, convinced history was about to bend to his wishes. What's the NFL going to do? Not only give us 4 first-round picks over the next 2 years, we not only do that, fine him, suspend him, please. Jerry would just write a check, by the entire penalty department, put his name on the door, and call it the Jerry Jones Center for Creative Accounting. That's why these stakes were so incredibly insane. If Jerry actually pulled it off, if Shedeur Sanders ended up in a Cowboys uniform, it wouldn't just be a trade, it would be the heist of the century. The kind of move that rewrote NFL history forever. Picture the headlines, picture the jersey sales flying worldwide, picture Jerry in his glass suite, sipping whiskey with that mischievous grin, knowing he just bent the league to his will. And stuck in the middle, Shedeur, the prodigy who just wanted to play ball, suddenly trapped in billionaire chess moves, legacy wars, and cameras flashing like he's royalty. The Browns became the fractured kingdom, split between loyalty to their golden boy and blind ambition chasing dollar signs. Whatever choice they made wouldn't just define their season. It could haunt their franchise for decades. This wasn't just football anymore, it was Julius Caesar in pads and Gatorade. Betrayal and spectacle all rolled into one. And trust me, this circus isn't over.